Alright, here we are, driving through Lapu-Lapu on our way to the condo. Ushi, can you turn that down? I'll give you an idea of what the traffic's like here. Now this is light traffic. So you don't want to be caught, you know, during the hours when everyone's either going to work or coming from work. So I'd say 7 to 10 is bad, and 4:30 to 9 at night is really bad. But it's a beautiful day, and unlike the United States, we don't have lines all through our skies, right? All through the skies here. We're not all X'd up with chemtrails. So you all probably forgot in the US what clear skies look like. We actually still have those here. So for those of you who aren't familiar with Lapu-Lapu, this is believe it or not, a tourist destination. Lapu-Lapu has some amazing resorts, some of the best resorts in Cebu. And there are tons of condos and just places you can rent, Airbnbs. And this island is full of tourists. You wouldn't know it, but they're in the taxis and in the malls. Many years ago, I think it was around 2000, it was between 2007 and 2009, but I used to live in Lapu-Lapu for maybe 6 months. And I lived at a little resort called Heritage Plantation. And it was a 3-bedroom, fully furnished with cable TV, air conditioning, beds, everything, utilities, the whole nine, everything. It was $200 a month. And it wasn't bad. It was doable. You know, it wasn't. For $200 a month, you couldn't complain. And I was teaching English, and I had an IT job at this time. I was actually running my own IT company, but I just wanted to see what it was like to live on the cheap in the Philippines. It was more than doable. But I was teaching primarily Koreans during the day. It was the name of the school was called Phil Inter, and it was really interesting how they teach English here. It's a one-on-one concept. They had like 100. It seemed like 100. Maybe it was at least 50, somewhere between 50 and 100 little rooms. And each room had just a tiny desk with 2 chairs in it, and it'd be one-on-one instruction from like a Filipino who spoke really good English, or decent English, to usually it'd be a Korean or a Japanese. It's like 90% of them were Koreans, And then they would graduate to a point that would be like level 1 and level 2, and they would eventually graduate to a point where they'd get like an 8 on 1, and the 1 would be a native English teacher, a native English speaker, sorry. And that would be me. And I enjoyed it. I just did it for the fun of it. I wanted to see what it was like just to teach English. And for the most part, it was just free talking. So I think I did that for 6 months. And other schools may have different formats, but all I did was free talk. So I would just go in the classroom. So when I first got there, the teachers, the owners were Koreans. They couldn't really speak English. They would communicate poorly to like the main business manager, who was a Filipino girl. She was younger than me. And at first she would say, "Hey, Bobby, we want you to teach out of these books." But there was another native English speaker. He was from Canada. And he said, "Man, forget that." He goes, "I don't teach out of those books." He goes, "I just talk about whatever I want to talk about. They're not going to say anything. Don't worry." He's like, that's what the culture is. So if you're a new English teacher, you'll probably be teaching out of some books, but I just followed this guy's lead, who had been doing it for a couple of years. And he'd just sit and talk to him. "Hey, what'd you do last night?" He'd just sit down and have a coffee and just talk, just free talk. And the students loved that. They liked that more. So they never complained. And I would listen to the walls sometimes, at him listening, talking to his students. But that was the least stressful job I ever had. Basically, I mean, imagine it's coffee talk. It's basically like you're at, the coffee shop chatting with friends. So, yeah, didn't pay very much. That was my first gig, my only gig. And I think I made $800 a month. This was in 2007, 8, 9. But an experienced English teacher, I had no credentials. I didn't even have a college degree. So if you had a college degree or a like CELT or something like that, I don't remember them now. But they were getting upwards of $2,200 a month. So I actually applied for 2 or 3 where they paid over $2,000 a month. And that was back, again, 2007 to 2009. In Vietnam today, I think a good English teacher can make upwards of $4,000, and it's as cheap or cheaper than the Philippines to live there. The food's better for sure. Switching gears, but anytime I think of food, one thing you'll notice about Filipinos is, like, if you were to watch all the students going by, they have great bodies. Now, I don't mean this in a perverted kind of way, right? My point is, Filipinos are athletic. They're built, they're built like gymnasts. But by the time they're 30, and we have the same problem in America, but by the time they're 30, they're all obese, right? And the reason for that is 99% of their diet is fried food. 99%, right? So go try to find, just like last night I went to the Sugba market. Sugba, I think Sugba means grilled. So the grilled market, everything's fried. It's so hard to find a good meal. Everything, like even if you did get like grilled steak, all the sides are fried, They'll fry a banana, so yeah, if they just had more selection. Now in Thailand, man, the food was fresh and good. I don't remember the names of the Thai meals, but Thais just eat better. And from what I've seen and from what I understand, Vietnamese eat better, Laotians eat better. The Filipinos just have the worst diet. And I say that, with love and respect. It's just my observation, right? Americans don't eat much better, honestly. We may even be more obese, right? But it's hard. It's so hard. The worst part is you can't just freely travel around, right? Like, I mean, you are free to, but look at this. This is as light as the traffic is going to get, right? Like this is, and for me to go anywhere, it's a 1 hour ordeal. If I want to just go to one side of this tiny island that you can jog across, it's a major ordeal. You're stressing that you're going to wreck your car or scratch your car. You constantly have people within inches of you. People are, kids on bikes are swerving in and out of traffic. You are on high alert every moment. So it's an ordeal. So you might go to a market, you know, like the Sugba, I can't remember what it's called, Sugba market or something like that, but you know, last night I was looking for spring rolls, or I was looking for gimbap, or I was looking for sushi, and I couldn't find any of that, right? All there was, and if you get a shake, the shakes sound good, right? Oh, buko shake or mango shake, but they're loaded with sugar and condensed milk. So it may sound healthy, but it's far from it. There's not very many healthy options here. So it's harder to eat healthy when you're in an area that you don't know very well. You know, can you turn it down? I'm settled in to Valencia now, and I know it pretty good. So I know all the places where I can eat good. Now, see, one of the frustrations of these dark windows is you can't see around vehicles. So I don't know if this guy's just parked or if he's waiting on someone else. Because they'll do that. They'll just stop. They'll just stop. People will just stop in the middle and go buy food or whatever, you know. They have no remorse about it. And again, it is the culture. Like this guy right there. See how he stopped, and he just went and handled business. He'll go get a coffee or whatever his deal is, because there is no parking, right? So people just stop in the road, and then traffic can't flow. You got to wait for someone you either have to fight your way into oncoming traffic or hope someone's kind enough to let you pass, but they won't, because if you let one pass, there's a chain behind that follows, and you can't break that chain, right? Like there'll be 50 or 100 cars behind it that are going to follow and never leave a break for you to reclaim your right of way that you had going. But again, and I've talked about this again and again, there is a freedom to having a cheap car, right? Like if I had a brand new $70,000 vehicle, I'd be stressing right now. But the beater I bought, which is a good looking beater, right? The AC works great. It doesn't have any dents on it or anything, but I wouldn't stress if someone smashed into the side of it tomorrow. You know, I'd be like, oh well. So I'm just going back and forth and running all over town because we're making upgrades. We have a couple condos here, and I've been making upgrades to them, and it's so hard finding what you need. It is so hard. Like, I need pool noodles, right? I know that sounds funny, but where are you gonna, like, I'm putting in an air conditioner unit, and there's pre-cut holes in the concrete on the wall to insert your air conditioner. But I got a really nice air conditioner, a TCL, that's a good brand here. And it's an inverter type, and I think they called it like a triple inverter. It's like, oh, you know, it's self-cleaning, all this great stuff, but it's a little smaller than the hole. due to its crazy efficiency. Well, what do I fill that with? There's like 2 inches on the top and 1.5 inches on each side. Well, I think pool noodles is the best thing. Yeah, 1 second. 302?
Yeah.
The heck? All right, and this is where we are. That's our unit, right there. It has little chairs on it on the balcony. Sorry, there's someone behind me.
Swim.
No, Ushi asked if we're gonna swim. Actually, we have that unit and the unit right above it. So we have a unit on the 2nd floor and a unit on the 3rd floor here.
I want to swim.
And the best part about this complex, about Saekyeong, is the pools. Not a good job of showing you here. Man, I was at the pool last night, right? Me and Ushi were at the pool. And I got like sorry. I got visually violated by this lady boy like time and time again. She just wouldn't stop staring at me. She kept on making, and I'm like, I know what it's like now. And like, I think I can understand what it's like for a girl that keeps getting stared at by some dude that's like not exactly asking for it. But this lady boy just kept on like trying to, like I had to stare away from that section of the pool, but then she'd swim to the other section. Anyway, I very, very much felt violated. All right, till next time, people.